Today, we hear directly from Black Americans observing President Trump sending ICE after Somalis in Minnesota. Check it out.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars. Billions. Every year. Billions of dollars. And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, has the Bureau offered relief?
70,000, 80,000 Somalis sent to Minnesota so they could vote in Ilhan Omar. That's how it was set up. Do you know that they are inbred so much that their IQ is between 60 and 80? If y'all don't get y'all fraudulent, scamming, cross-eyed, big four-headed, incestual asses up out of here. We know you married your brother. Take y'all illegal, scamming asses on. Get out. I'm on my way to Minnesota. I'm on my way to ask you questions. You didn't want to say nothing to the white boy that was asking. You wanted to threaten the white boy, but I bet you won't threaten me. I bet you won't tell me to get the fuck on. I bet I won't. Let's go to Minnesota. Let me call my brother and my best friend, and let's start a TV show. Let's go around to all these damn places and figure out what the fuck is going on. I'm already in Dearborn. Let's start there first. Those motherfuckers need to go to.
Ooh, y'all, word on the street is ICE is down there in Dearborn, Michigan, baby, snatching Muslims up left and right. Oh. I'm sorry. Oh, heavens to Betsy. If only someone had warned them before they voted for this. Last I heard, y'all, they was out there begging the folks in the community around them to help them. I'm confused, though, because these are the people that said anybody but Kamala. So what is it exactly they want us to do? Because, baby, getting out there in them streets with you is not an option. You chose this. You voted for this. Vehemently rejected Kamala Harris. And now that the leopards that you voted for are feasting, what is it you would like us to do exactly? Honey, I have naps that have to be taken. Let your anti-blackness be your refuge. Because, honey, never will lack of education and anti-blackness on your part constitute an emergency on mine. Not today, not tomorrow.
Them folks over there in Minnesota is hot at Trump right now. Why? Because all them Democrats is about to be crying the blues because ICE is on their way to get them Somalians out today. And at the end of the day, again, I don't live there, so I don't know about the fraud and abuse. I can only know based on what they said. And apparently some Somalians was out there getting millions of dollars in food stamp money, and it wasn't giving it to the people that was supposed to get it. So now they found out, and they about to get them out of there. And you know, one thing about Trump, this man is transactional. I know how that meeting went. When they was behind closed door and they told him about this, he was like, okay, and I should care why. It was like, because he ain't giving you no money. Oh, yeah. Wait. They ain't give me no money? No. Wait, did they give any of my people money? No. Oh, okay, then get them out of there then. And at the end of the day, that's why. Because I know all of them Democrats talking about, well, he just pardoned this guy who committed all of this fraud, da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah, he did. Because guess what? It's going to be some way he can get some green from it.
Like I've said before, and I'm going to keep saying this, nobody takes America serious. When we allowed everybody to come in here, flooding in here like water and all, these are all the aftermath and these effects that we get from these people. Look at what Somalians are doing in Minnesota. For the last 5 years, they have been recruiting families to get an autism diagnosis for their children and then signing them up in an HSS program only to try to steal billions of dollars from taxpayers. Not giving a damn whether a child has autism or not. I take that very offensive because I have a child that has autism. And then when you got these foreigners that come over here and don't give a fuck about the U.S., don't give a damn about how they misuse, don't give a damn about our laws, don't want to learn our language, don't want to come over here the right way. We got protesters out here fighting for these type of people. I don't get it. And then we got people in Congress, foreign and aliens in Congress that show their true colors when the time come and permit itself. Like Ayam Omar, however you say her name. She don't care nothing about the U.S., but she has a seat in Congress. I'm not understanding about that. I'm not understanding where everything fits in with how we're trying to govern our country. And then they done stole $1.7 billion in the last 5 years, only to send it back to their country so they can benefit their country. Everybody that comes over here illegally comes over here to make money and take from taxpayers and get all the sweat and sand on our backs and put their foots on our necks and just steal. And the Democrats make it possible for them to do this. It makes no sense to me. And then we're sitting around here and we're getting things cut off. We're getting stuff downsized. We're getting stuff tampered with. All because they're trying to balance a budget after they done wastefully mismanaged money and gave it all out to people and allowed all these people to come over here and steal from us. That makes no sense. And then foreign people going around here, they're killing people. They're doing all this other stuff. We have enough crimes in the American system that allow somebody that's already illegally to come over here and finish the jobs. That makes no sense. That man that shot them 2 soldiers in D.C. was from another country. Lakeland Riley's murderer was from another country. And we continue to fight for these people. They don't care nothing about America. They don't want to learn English to show you how much they give a damn about Americans. But yet still they want us to respect them. They want us to do this. And then you got these delusional ones that sit out there and march for them. Stand up, block ICE, do everything else. And yet it's still, they're laughing at us when they go home or they're sending little messages and texts to their country. They don't respect us, Americans. They don't respect us. At the end of the day, they'll take us and rob us blind. Yeah, we're the land of the free, but we're too freely. We're too freely. And things got to change and something has to stop. And this is an example of how they get down.
It gives me a great sense of pleasure knowing that your refugee status can be revoked. See, unlike you, I was born here. From the moment I opened my eyes, I was in the United States of America, and I will never pander to Adan people. Cash is a legal form of currency. Anyone can take cash. The lady who did my eyelashes, cash. Eyebrows, cash. The Mexican lady who cleaned the house, cash. I don't care when you came to this country. When ICE pulls you over, they're going to put you in their detention center and they're going to ship you back to wherever you came from. Just because people are gassing you up in the comments, saying you're not like the others, you'll be like the others when you're sitting in a detention center.
If you want a good laugh today, check this out.
Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive. Somalis have always seen themselves as the fabric of this nation. So not only are we not going anywhere, we are not going to allow anybody to make us feel less Minnesotan or less American.
First and foremost, Little Miss Brusband. I don't feel American. I am American, so no one can make me feel less than or less like something that I already am because I was born that. And the real problem stems from the fact that you believe that you are the fabric of this nation. By the way, that metaphor refers to people that share fundamental structures, values, beliefs, you know, culture and all this stuff. Didn't you come from Somalia, where the country's major fabric is Islam, what holds that nation together. And in Islam, you either convert or die. That's their belief system, correct? Or you force them to believe what you believe. Didn't Minnesota change their flag for you? See, if you were the fabric of this nation as you're espousing, you wouldn't have come to change the area you're in. You would assimilate and join in and share your culture and share your beliefs without forcing it on anybody, because no means no. But you guys don't believe in that. If I don't believe what you believe, you say I should die. So please miss me with that.
From the moment Black Americans began making measurable gains in civil rights, political power, and economic growth, a quiet but deliberate strategy began taking shape in America, using immigration policy as a tool to weaken, replace, and dilute the upward movement of foundational Black Americans. The pattern is not random. It is historical. It is strategic, and it stretches from the 1970s all the way to the present. After the civil rights movement, Black Americans were finally breaking into union jobs, government positions, and local political leadership. Cities with strong Black populations, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Houston, Miami, were becoming centers of Black culture, Black political power, and rising Black middle-class success. But instead of rewarding these gains, white supremacist power structures pivoted toward a new strategy: import new populations while undermining existing Black communities. This pattern becomes painfully clear in Los Angeles, California, starting in the late 1970s. Black Americans had significant control of neighborhoods like Compton, Watts, Inglewood, and South Central. But instead of investing in these communities, California politicians and city elites allowed waves of immigration, primarily from Mexico and Central America, to reshape the labor market. These new groups were often openly prioritized by employers, police departments, construction firms, and political machines. As a result, Black workers were slowly pushed out of construction jobs, manufacturing jobs, and longshore positions that had historically supported Black families. By the 1990s, entire sections of LA that were once predominantly FBA had flipped, pushing Black Americans out through job loss, rising housing costs, redistricting, and even gang policing tactics that targeted Black youth while leaving Latino gangs untouched. This was not organic change. It was engineered displacement. The same strategy appeared in Texas, especially in Houston and Dallas. Black neighborhoods that had been stable for decades found themselves overwhelmed by sudden shifts in demographic weight. Political representation changed. Public resources were redirected. In many cases, cities began courting immigrant labor to keep wages low, undercutting Black workers who had fought for fair pay and union protection. In New York, immigration was used to dilute Black voting power and political influence. Black communities that once held strong cultural and economic positions, Harlem, Brooklyn, Queens, saw dramatic demographic restructuring that weakened FBA political blocs. Gentrification and immigrant-driven housing competition pushed tens of thousands of Black Americans out of the city entirely. In Florida, large immigration waves, Cuban, Haitian, Central, and South American, reshaped Miami, Orlando, and Tampa. At the same time, state and local systems frequently refused to direct resources to long-standing Black neighborhoods, arguing that funding needed to be diverted to newcomer populations. Black workers, especially in agriculture, construction, and hospitality, were replaced by cheaper immigrant labor. Chicago saw the same pattern. As Black political power grew in the 1970s and 80s, the city's elites responded by reshaping the demographic landscape. Immigrant populations were elevated in politics while Black neighborhoods were stripped of industry, housing support, and jobs. Black voting blocs were intentionally weakened, preventing the rise of another Harold Washington-style Black political power base. Then there is Minnesota, one of the clearest examples of targeted demographic engineering. Starting in the 1990s, the state opened the floodgates to immigration, particularly from East Africa. Instead of investing in the long-established Black American population in the Twin Cities, political leadership chose to import massive new populations who could be molded into new voting blocs, new labor pools, and new political machines. As these groups were uplifted and heavily funded, many foundational Black Americans were pushed out of housing, jobs, and neighborhoods. Minneapolis, once with a strong historic FBA presence, saw displacement accelerate dramatically. Now, Under Donald Trump's immigration crackdowns, including the latest enforcement waves in Minnesota, a new shift has emerged. Many of the same political leaders who once championed unlimited immigration are now struggling to respond to federal restrictions. But for FBAs, this moment reveals something important. The government could control immigration all along. They simply chose not to, until political power, not FBA well-being, demanded it. Tell me what you think about this topic. Hope you find the information in this video informative. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. Thanks for watching.